but not too much of a shaky cam. Let me know if y'all actually like this shaky camera or not. But I actually have myself a little setup. I've been using these for Instagram lives. Hope let me know if you like this setup a little bit. But I do appreciate you. Hope that y'all are all having a very, very happy, cheerful. Oh, I even forgot to turn on the lights. Let's turn those on. Do you want to see more of this face? Anyways, guys, nobody's here yet. Got on here a little bit late. Hope that's okay. But um, I got a lot of fragrances. Y'all know that we do. Hey there, Charlie Brown, Parfum. How you doing, man? How are you having? Happy holidays. Happy holiday Christmas season. Hope that treat y'all right, everybody. Hope that everybody's safe and healthy and smelling great. You know, I had a pretty good Christmas yesterday. Guess I'm nobody. Hey, no problem. Like Eric, good to see you. How's it going, man? No, I didn't see you pop in. What's your scent of the day, everybody? What you been wearing? I've been spraying a bunch of stuff on. I've been testing these Chinoto fragrances. I have don't have my reviews out for these yet, but I did talk about them a little bit on Instagram. They're very interesting. They have like this orange Coca-Cola vibe that's a part of all of these fragrances, and I like the gourmand one the best. And I'm not sure when I'll bring these out for reviews. Maybe I'll just review them all at the same time. Let me know, is that a good idea to review all a whole discovery set, or if there's only like three fragrances from a brand, I guess it'd be good to review everything at once. Um, I don't know. I think that might be a better idea. Eric, good to see you. It says scent of the day Azaro Pour Homme. Hey, can't go wrong with that one. That's a great fragrance. Um, did you tell me which batch that was? It doesn't matter too much, but I think you might have. I forget if you did. But Azaro Pour Homme, still a great fragrance. Still a classic. Charlie says, I had a good time at Christmas. That's good. I hope that everybody had a great Christmas. It was pretty good. Our family, we, just took it kind of easy, took care of each other, had a pretty good dinner. We all cooked, brought something for the dinner, and wasn't bad at all. So I'm healthy. Yeah, that's a blessing. That's for sure. That's what all we can wish for, I guess, at this point, right? So anyways, any fragrances y'all want me to jump on and talk about? I'm thinking of making another holiday Christmas list, like a really short one. Let me know if that's a bad idea or not. I've already talked about cozy, warm fragrances. I talked about some of those spicy, comforting, vanilla like fragrances. But I almost feel like I want to make another list because I don't know if everybody saw it. I don't know if everybody knows about these fragrances. I'm not trying to put down on other people, but again, we definitely all have different opinions and approach fragrances differently. But I've watched other people's top 5 or top 10 holiday Christmas fragrances, and all of us have different memories and, of course, associations of smell with different memories and things. But for me, with Christmas, I think of spices, I think of vanilla, I think of things that make you feel warm. I think of coffee. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good. It's been a good day. I've trying to get back into the swing of things. I took it easy yesterday. If y'all don't know, here on YouTube, I've still been putting out a video every day, but on Instagram I do a live every day, and I do like 3 posts or sometimes more. And I do have some giveaways going on my Instagram if y'all want to check it out over there. But yesterday I took it a little bit easy on the Instagram, so I'm kind of trying to get back in the swing of things, but it still feels like the holidays. I want to take it easy. I kind of want to take a big break until the New Year's, but kind of pushing myself to not be lazy. Honestly, I just want to take it easy, but I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty all right. Can't complain too much. Got too many fragrances for my own good. I have another order from Fragrance by CA coming, and again, I do want to, I thought about doing a video like I did before, and some people think that's, I don't know, like a sellout thing to do, and but I don't know. Do y'all want me to talk about how good that sale is? FragranceNet has upped some of their prices. They know that certain items are kind of hard to get or scared to, difficult to get. And Fragrance by ICA has some of the best prices in general. It's one of their special sales. You get free shipping and 10% off if you spend about, I think it's $100 USA. and I really support them. They have better shipping, and they didn't price gouge people, which I understand supply and demand, but some people that's just not an acceptable thing. So I love yeah, Fragrance Buy is now my trusted seller. I prefer to buy from them every once in a while if something's hard to get, if somebody has something unusual or has an amazing price where they want to get rid of it. I'll get something on eBay every once in a while, but I try to avoid it. But I do mess with eBay sometimes. But I've started kind of not buying from Fragrance Net so much. I've started buying from Fragrance by CA, and again, their shipping's better. Friendly people. They like to work with me. So yeah. Have y'all bought from them before? They're very trusted. Do y'all want me to? Is that something y'all want to do right now? I know y'all probably just want to joke around, but I know a lot of people talk about like they don't know where to get, you know, good prices on Manceras, and some people tell me, when I talk about a fragrance is $50, or some of them like they say my prices are too low, you can't get them that cheap, and I'm not even including the 10% off on Fragrance by CA. And when Fragrance Net was good, you could get them for about that price. But again, Fragrance by CA, with especially with the 10% off right now, definitely has the best prices around. I mean, hands down, no doubt about it. Taryn Essence, hey, good to see you, Taryn. It's good to see you. You popped on over from Instagram. Lovely lady. Definitely support her, everybody. Hi, all. Just thought I'd pop in for a few. Yeah, this is a really impromptu, laid back live. You know, I could talk about some fragrance news. One of the small things that I saw, and I guess I could mention from the grapevine, is there's what was it? Stronger with You. Y'all know that there's the regular version, then there's the Stronger with You Intensely. They actually just announced the newest flanker, the Stronger with You Absolutely. So I don't know if we're going to get a Parfum edition. I don't. I think they're probably going to stop this, but a lot of these brands are doing the EDT, EDP, and Parfum kind of game. And the fragrance is kind of the same. It looks like it might not be as sweet, and it doesn't look like it has as much of the nutty elements, but it has Davana in it. And I'm kind of excited to try it. I'm actually recently became a fairly big fan of Davana, but it can be kind of aggressive for some people. Davana has a big personality to it, so Fragrance Net isn't good, but no, Fragrance Net still has good prices. But right now, with what's been happening in the world, with some of their fragrances that are really popular. They've creeped up the prices on some of them, and some of the things are they're very apparent. Like some of the popular Mansaras, to prove the point. I think on Instagram I showed it to everybody, and I wasn't making it up. On Fragrance Net, it was like they wanted like 120 with the normal 25, and y'all know that their 37% off code on Fragrance Net, it doesn't really work. Everybody used to talk about that back in the day. Now there's the 35%, so you can get another 10% off. So on Fragrance Net, you'd be lucky on some of the Monsars to get them for about 100. And Fragrance by CA had it for like $70, and it was the same thing, sealed. Both of them were sealed in the box, brand new, same size. And also now with the 10% off, the price is even better on Fragrance by CA. So Fragrance Net's not bad. They're still reputable. I haven't gotten anything fake from them or bad from them. But I try to encourage people to know where the best deals are, the best value for dollar, and also, you know, it doesn't bother me so much. I mean, upping your prices when things are limited or limited availability, but I don't know. Some of these things, they're not that rare. Like Monsara fragrances aren't that rare. I don't think their prices should really be going up. So I don't know. That's one reason I talked about it. I see. I've never ordered from Fragrance Buy. They're really good. If these sales are really great because you get the free shipping and the 10% off if you spend over 100. The thing is, if you order any other time outside of Canada, you have to buy like 5 items, and that doesn't mean full size fragrances. You can buy, sometimes they have like 10 mils or decants or smaller size fragrances, but you have to order like 5 items in total to get the free shipping. And you can build enough points to where you can get free shipping anytime you want, but you get extra points when you order. If you're one of the first 1,000 or so, you get like 2 free niche samples. So that could be like, 10, $15 depending on the samples. Let's see here. Jesus, Jesus Christ is in the house. What do you think about Chanel Allure Sport Cologne for spring and summer? It's a nice fragrance. It's not bad. I've always respected the Chanel Allure Homme DNA. The Blanche one is probably my favorite. You're talking about the Sport Cologne version. Most people talk about the Sport Extreme. I'm not sure if you meant that one, but the extreme version is the one that everybody talks about with the Tonka, and it's almost powdery. It's a little bit sweet, and that one's the big compliment getter. I think no, it's called extreme. Sorry, I said intense. It's the extreme. Fragrance nerd. Hey Ben. Okay, the cologne. Yeah, it's still a solid fragrance. The original DNA is more of like an aromatic. It's like a citrus, almost like a woody fragrance. It's nice. It's really classy and refined. But yeah, the extreme version makes it almost go in that blue direction, and it's sweet with tonka. So it's kind of funny. I like the Blanche, which almost goes a little bit gourmandish and a little bit more creamy and vanilla and stuff like that. So, but I have heard that the regular Chanel Allure Homme is still a big top seller, and I've heard that it sells out in some places still. Again, us in the fragrance community move so fast. Sometimes we get distracted. We think these fragrances are old news, and people are still, selling. Like people in the fragrance community really don't talk about Terre de Hermes or anything like that. That one's it's still a force to be reckoned with. It's still really popular in the fragrance world. So fragrance nerd, so good to see you. Hey Ben, or hey, almost felt like I was saying hey to myself. But how y'all doing? Honestly, I've been working and doing my own thing, and there's all kinds of funny things out there. You get distracted on YouTube. I was watching Yang Ye. I don't know if y'all know who he is, but he's like talks about video game news and he kind of reports on things. And I'd never seen anybody play the video game, but it's so ridiculous because he tries to voice the characters of this video game, and it's KFC made. I guess it's a joke, but it's free publicity, and I guess it brought some joy to the world. But it's a KFC, and I'm not joking. It's a dating sim, and it's like this anime. It's so dumb, but it was hilarious to watch him play it. So that was quite an experience. But getting back to fragrance, I lost two people. I just wanted to mention that. If you want some kicks and giggles, that was hilarious. I watched that today. So I noticed a lot of fragrance people also like video games. I'm not a huge video game person, but I do like them sometimes. I've started recently replaying Knights of the Old Republic. I was watching a Twitch streamer and I won some giveaways and I got some really old Star Wars video games. I still think Star Wars, um, what was it? Jedi Outcast was still a great game that a lot of people don't know about. Yeah, I'm not a big video gamer, but I do like RPGs. I like things with stories. I think the Metro series, Metro Last Light, Metro Last Light Exodus, and no, the second one was the Metro Last Light Redux, which are funny names. I don't know why they named them. They're based on books, and I wish they would make a movie out of it. I really like the story and the everything they're going on. So I don't play video games, but I did try the Oculus last night. Oh, you did. I actually don't have one of those. But yeah, that's when you get to see everything in first person. It's like those goggles. Yeah, I've never done that, but there's some video games that they've made some. They're kind of short, but we're gonna get there eventually where most video games are probably there. It feels like an in-person experience. So that's crazy. I hope that it was fun. Oculus, yeah. I've actually never used one of those before, but I bet that'd be a fun experience. I really bet it would. Anyways, fragrance nerd, crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. What have y'all been getting into? Did y'all get any fun presents? Did you have a happy Christmas and holiday? Did anybody get an Oculus? I'm running people off, but this is just me, just taking it easy. I can get into fragrances and I do that all the time, but being here on YouTube right now is just for me a way to just kick back and just take it really easy. So, have you ever considered doing a podcast? I have. I've thought about it. Maybe I should do it. You know, I could do it. I love to educate. I have a lot of things to say, a lot of things to share. But maybe I should do that. Maybe that's the way future for me. So I got a 6 month subscription to Olfactive. Olfactive. What's the subscription for? You might have to fill me in. I don't even know the details. Olfactive Studio. Is it Studios? I know I've heard of that before. Do it. I'll have to try doing a podcast. I love to share information. I have a lot of things in this head. Again, I might seem too really relaxed and laid back right now, but if I get passionate and if I get into the mood, I want to share something or something's important. Dive into the topic. I can put a lot more attention into things. I'm just relaxing with you guys right now. That's what this is about. I'm not trying to present or remember notes, but we can talk about some fragrances. If there's anything I've mentioned before, you want me to show you the bottle, something that was different or unique, or maybe there's a certain note that you're looking for. I mean, ask away. Ask, and I'm right in front of a computer right now, which is an advantage I have, with this little setup. So if you have questions or want to dive into any fragrance news, hey, why not? Let's go to fragrance. I'll go to FragranceNet right now and see if there's anything we can talk about there too. I haven't stayed too much up to date with like new releases. Not FragranceNet, Fragrantica. I say I do that all the time. I mix them up in my head. But let's see here. Let's see. I bought myself a Discovery set on the 23rd, and it went on sale today. That happens. You'll buy things. Sometimes that's why it's kind of best usually to try to buy things on sale. No, I feel you. But if you wanted to, I mean, some people have different opinions on if it's good to ask for something like that or not. But you could message them, and they probably would be generous with you. Have y'all seen how generous George Zaharoff is? There was a person he bought. I think they bought all three fragrances: the original, the Royale, and the Noir. And the guy said that he didn't like any of them, which was like, well, I mean, I guess some people like things and some people don't. But George requested they just send them back, and even though they're used and opened and everything, he'd send them a full refund. And that was crazy. It's super generous of him. So maybe you can get a discount if you really wanted to. Let's see here. Catch up with the comments. Samples of niche fragrances. Okay, so you signed up for 6 months of three samples a month. Okay, and you'll get three niche samples. That sounds fun. Was it a good value? Is it worth it? I might have to look into it. I used to get Scentbird. There are niche fragrances decants on Scentbird, and there are a few of them that are still good value. But I haven't checked if they still have any of the Roses. They had some Roses, and they actually had a Clive Christian one time, Rock Rose. I tried to get the word out on how good of a value that was. It was ridiculous that they were selling it for the same price. I don't know how they did it, but yeah, Scentbird. Y'all know that they sell designers, and that's what they promote, and they're not a good value. So let's talk about some fragrance news. Do y'all want to talk about some fragrance news? I'm here on Fragrantica, and I usually don't do this. This is kind of Fragrance Bros territory, talking about fragrance news, but respect to him. I like Fragrance Bros. I still watch him. Um, he's a cool guy for sure. Let's see. Are there any houses you think that are underrated? Yeah, there's a bunch of things to explore. I haven't even explored everything, trust me. I'm getting there where I've tried a lot of houses and a lot of fragrances, and I get to the point where sometimes you can let yourself feel prideful, like, oh, I've tried everything, but no, no. There's plenty of houses and brands. I haven't tried Mr. Oz's fragrance house. What's it called? It's like Molfactive. Mr. Oz, he's a YouTuber, made his own brand. So he's definitely worth trying. There's Suga for Mr. Niche Scent. He made his own brand, more of a natural focused fragrance house. Really recommended. Good people. I mean, good guy. And pretty good fragrances. Men in His Pipe really impressed me. And Osmanthus Toboggan and the Miranda were really good. Um, there's a lot of fragrances people just don't know about, and so and again, I'm not trying to put down on other fragrance reviewers, but if you're a big fragrance reviewer and you're supposed to be sharing the best of the best and sharing about fragrances, I think you need to be exploring fragrances and trying to smell as many as you can. I know it gets overwhelming, but if you're these bigger fragrance reviewers, I mean, you know how much ad revenue that they're getting in, and I know that they're busy and they have things that they want to do, but I mean, they should be on top of all the releases and be able to do, crazy list. That's one reason I like Sebastian over there at Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. He'll do a list. He's like smelled tons of things, and he'll compare and contrast. He's like, here's 10 of his favorite or the best patchoulis or uh, these boozy fragrances or I mean anything, and it's pretty cool. I enjoy that. Let's see. But any fragrances that you really need to try, if you haven't tried Profumum Roma, I encourage you to dive into them. Ormond Jane is a great niche house. A lot of people know about Nichane, but you probably haven't tried all of them. Nichane is a great house to explore. Sometimes you might have tried one fragrance or two fragrance. Like some of these houses, I mean, I'm very familiar with them, but I haven't tried all of their releases. Like, and Waz just came out with a whole new fragrance line, essentially. I mean, definitely try those, like Enclave and Miranda, and I think there's a few others. So there's a lot of fragrances to dive into. And if you want to dive into indie, naturals, or atars, those are all three huge fragrance worlds. You can dive into the rabbit hole of fragrance really deep. I mean you can go deep. You can this will keep you occupied. This will keep us occupied probably forever. So George is the man. Yeah, George is too generous for his own good. I'm a pretty generous guy, but when somebody's like, almost, I mean, the guy wasn't that rude, but almost to the point of like, these fragrances are bad. I dislike them, and I bought all three of them. It's like, I don't know. And George, even in his post, said that's why I give out so many free samples. Or the guy you know, could have bought, the samples. But George sends out the samples. He sent out tons of them for free, and the guy just blinds by them and then doesn't like them and then makes a fuss about it. You know, it's some people out there. I don't know if it was a good value. It was a gift, but I get to try. No, I'm excited for you. That'll be a lot of fun to try new fragrances, and that's a good gift. I'm glad that you're going to get to experience that, Taryn, and looking forward to your thoughts and your experience. Abraham, good to see you. Hey Ben, how's it going? I'm doing pretty good over here. Taking it easy. We're going to talk about some fragrance news here real quick. Ormond Jane's a nice house, and especially here on YouTube not talked about very much. And there's a lot of really nice houses, and it takes a really hyped fragrance like Nichane's Ani to get one of these bit niche houses like a big seller to get them into the mainstream and to get them involved. Like Fan Your Flames was pretty popular and it got a bunch of talk, but it really didn't get it into the mainstream. It took Ani to get Nichane actually popular enough for everybody to kind of know about it and for everybody to kind of talk about them. And I guess that's what it takes with these niche houses. Ormond Jane has a bunch of the good ones. I said really good things about Mon Tobacco. I don't know how crucial of a part of I was with Ormond Jane, but I talked really highly about it. A couple other fragrance reviewers did as well, and it got some flankers, and I think that did well for them. But I don't know if Ormond Jane has really hit it to the mainstream yet. Um, just like Profumum Roma, and there's a number of good houses, but a lot of people when they think of niche, they think of Creed, at least on YouTube, because Creed's so talked about, and Aventus. Y'all know the algorithm too. Everybody talks about Aventus. People know Zerjoff. People know about Killian. What else? What are some other really big brands here on YouTube? Trying to remember some of them. Of course, Tom Ford. Of course. Um, I'm sure there's a couple other ones, but let's see. Do you have any strange memories attached to fragrance? I've had a couple of them. Honestly, sometimes I do come across a fragrance every once in a while that reminds me of something that has like a weird fragrance memory. but unless it was a really pleasant memory, I usually don't buy it. Like I found a fragrance one time that reminded me like a festival, like a carnival, but it was like the day after. So there's like trash around and there's like cotton candy and sweet smells and soda spilled on the dirt and stuff like that. And it reminded me, and it was kind of windy and kind of had like a salty, musky air, like a breeze to it, and it reminded me of that memory I had. But I don't, even though I remembered it, it wasn't a negative emotion or memory. It wasn't really a positive one. It was just a memory, and that to me, unless it was a really overwhelmingly positive memory, I usually don't get connected to a fragrance enough. Usually, for me personally, to want to buy it. So I have had a couple of those, but it's not. It doesn't happen too often. So, but great question. That's a great question. I think memory is a part of fragrance, but I'm more about like trying to make memories and have good experiences with fragrances that I enjoy. I usually don't seek out fragrances that try to recreate a memory or something from the past. For me, I know that some people do, and for some people that's very powerful and that's very important, and I respect that. But usually that's not the way I go about, or that's not my intention, and that doesn't happen too often for me. So. Katie Pack, you got a used. They used to have an awesome. Oh, okay, sampler pack or Ormond Jane. What do you mean? Yeah, it. I like when brands have discovery sets. It helps people try everything in a more affordable, easy way. When these fragrance houses don't have any samples at all or discovery set, I've talked to a few of them, and I've tried to tell them it's like people. I mean, you might have boutiques, and people might get the word out like word of mouth and talk about your fragrance, but not everybody, especially when it's a fragrance that's. I mean, even at $150, that's a lot of money for a lot. A lot of most people, but especially when it's a fragrance that's over $200 or 300 or more, most people aren't just going to blind buy a fragrance if it's that expensive, especially when they can't return it and when they have to resell it. They have to sell it and lose a bunch of money on it, and that's a hassle. And that for some people that's offensive too, especially if you've never sold a fragrance before. You buy an expensive fragrance, and you think it's worth the same amount of value. It's like when you drive a brand new car off the car lot, it loses a bunch of value. So. Yes, it was Montebaco. Yeah, Montebaco is great. A great fragrance. Galleria Perfumes, Victorian Tobacco, has one of the booziest tobacco scents I've ever smelled. I'll have to try that one. Victorian Tobacco. Sounds nice. I do love a good tobacco. I actually have a fragrance on the way. I'll do an unboxing on Instagram if y'all want to see that. And let me know if y'all want me unboxings. I think I can figure out a way to get unboxing videos here on YouTube if that's what you want to see. So. But I do like boozy, and I do like boozy fragrances. And I do like tobacco. So everybody's saying hello, greeting each other. That's awesome. Yes, the OG sampler, or Monjane, and OG. I want to say OG for original gangster. Sylvian. Oh yes, yes, you're right. Sylvia and Delacour are better deal. Yeah, if y'all don't know about again, I don't know if I'm saying it right. Forgive me, but Sylvian Delacourt. She worked, I think it was with Guerlain, if I remember right, and she was pretty up there. And she decided to make her own company. I don't know all the details with why she wanted to separate, but she did her own company, and the quality and the value she's putting out there is pretty good. You can buy the Musk Discovery set or the Vanilla, I think it is Discovery set. I actually bought both of them, and I think if you buy the Discovery sets, you can put that money towards a bottle, so you get like a discount if you do buy a fragrance and put that money forward. And that's a really nice thing with a fragrance company. You know, that's kind of a nice promotion there. So let's see here. What state do you live in? I try to keep that a secret. Some people out there know it, but I don't try to put that really on a YouTube live for anybody and everybody to watch. There's some people who are out there who know it, but I live in the southern USA near the Gulf Coast. I'm not a celebrity. No, I don't think I am really. And not I haven't been, I've never been recognized in public, but I just don't really want to put that out there because crazy stuff happens, and I can defend myself. I'm big and strong enough, and I have tools to defend myself. But I don't want to. Maybe in private, if you really have to know, you can message me. What was the one? Oh, Solano's in the house. Hey, Solano, how you doing, my friend? How's life treating you? Did you have happy holidays? Ormond Jane is gangsta. She is. I have the vanilla and the musk sets. I want to get the orange flower next. Okay. Yeah, I bet that'll be nice too. I really liked Valkyrie, and I always forget its name, but it was like a black pepper tobacco vanilla fragrance that they had, and those were my two favorites. And I'm gonna do a video. I think I did a short video and I mentioned them before, but I'm gonna review a bunch of their fragrances next year. So I do have those discovery sets, and look forward to that. I have like six discovery sets I still need to review, so look forward to that, guys. I'll be diving deeper into those. So let's see here. They have an orange flower one now. I bet it's good. Orange flower is actually one of my favorite things in fragrances. Yeah, they're very high. I agree. For the value for what she's given you, you can buy. I think you can buy two. I don't think I don't know if the sale's available anymore, but she had a crazy sale going on. If you bought like one bottle, you almost got like one for free or 50% off or something like that. But that was like, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks or a month ago. But she had a big sale. They're very, yeah, 10 bucks for 10 mil. That's nice. I do have to say that I would do like bottles. I don't have to have presentations, but I kind of like her little bottles. And, you know, I know that some people, they're fine with decants, and that's probably the best way to go, value for money, especially when I and a lot of us have so many fragrances. But I don't know. I like to have the bottle. But let's talk about some fragrance news. Are y'all ready for that? Let's talk about it. So we have a new fragrance coming out from Tom Ford called Jasmine Rouge. Are y'all excited about Tom Ford? Y'all like Tom Ford? Y'all know my feelings on them. I, some of them don't last the longest, but I do respect. Plum Japonais was a great fragrance. I loved Italian Cypress. Of course, everybody knows Tobacco Vanille and Tuscan Leather also really changed the fragrance game. Ombre Leather's pretty popular, big fragrance game. Something about the bottle. I do. Sylvian Court Delacourte's bottles might not be the fanciest bottles of all time, but they are kind of charming. They have this like understated like little, I don't know, like charming, almost like pretty quality about them. And I do like them. You can tell that they fit in the hand. They have a really nice size about them too. So Solano's coming back 2021. I'm excited. And guys, if y'all don't know, Solano is a fragrance reviewer. He's been here and there. He's been on and off, but he's a cool guy from Peru, and awesome fragrance guy. So check him out. So, anyways, with Tom Ford, Jasmine Rouge looks exciting. So it has jasmine, of course, and rouge means that red kind of vibe, kind of that polished vibe. It's supposed to have tuberose and it's going to be like a deeper, sultry, maybe like a seductive floral fragrance. So I'm looking over the descriptions. They describe it as being kind of cool, but also fruity, which is interesting. I'm trying to see if there's any notes. I think they mentioned honey, and they also mentioned giving it that rouge, that red effect. They say that there's going to be strawberry, ripe wild strawberries, and it's like a dark, maybe a dry strawberry, but still supposed to be still kind of sweet. So that's interesting. Are y'all looking forward to that new fragrance release from Tom Ford? Again, Fragrantica, hate them or love them, I don't like the change with their website. They're still a pretty good source of information. So, do y'all ready for another one? Let's see here. See, yes, they fit in hand, and never thought of that before, but it's a good thing. Yeah, when you have an awkward bottle and it's hard to spray it or hold it, it's that's a big negative. But I think that she pays attention to detail. You can tell her fragrances are kind of thoughtful. So, no, I don't like the change on Fragrantica, but we can still make it work. I don't live on Fragrantica. Again, I used to write not articles, but comments and little reviews all the time. I still check it out every once in a while. Again, I already mentioned Stronger With You, the new flanker. The Absolutely. We'll see if we're going to get a Stronger With You. We might get a Parfum in the future. It seems like that line is doing really well with Armani. Armani's really killing the fragrance game right now. They have their Aqua di Gio flankers. that are still selling very well. They're still putting a lot of work into that. So that covers those versatile, summer fragrances for anybody anywhere. And now the Stronger with You line, there's the ones for the ladies, which seem to be like they're doing fairly well. And then there's the guy ones, and those fragrances are sweeter and richer and kind of fulfilling a lot of guys' needs for maybe more fall winter fragrances for some guys. So the new Absolutely supposed to have Divana, maybe less of the nuttiness. I don't know if it's going to be more sweet or less sweet, but Divana is a really rugged, almost aggressive note for some people, and I'm looking forward to it. It's nice. Um, see, do y'all want to read the Fragrantica editor's favorite perfumes of 2020? They have Bitter Peach listed and Angel Share. We could talk about those. Let's see here. Fragrantica gave me malware. Really? How did it do that? That's never happened to me, but you got to be careful. Maybe somebody hacked it. Maybe it wasn't stable, but I've never had that problem. Have you been able to get your computer fixed and all that? Taryn, never do. Solano says, "Have you smelled Phoebe's Peacock?" No, I have not smelled that yet. Is that something I really need to try? Is that one you really recommend? Scent Salt's in the house. Hello, my friend. He also reviews. I think you review fragrances, if I remember right. Check him out. Sorry, guys. I've never had a problem with Fragrantica. Do you have ad block? Um, yeah, definitely have your firewalls going. Try to have antivirus if you can. I've never had a problem with Fragrantica giving me problems like that before, but Armani's Imperial line, they have two new fragrances. There's one for men and one for women. One is the female one I think is called Lee, and the guy for men's called Louis. And I don't know when that's coming out, but they're supposed to be green, and 70% less plastic used in the packaging or the bottles or something like that. Do y'all want to know about these? I guess we can look at the notes. I don't know. This seems like one of those things that's might not become that popular. And they have like a funny spray, so they don't have a normal nozzle. Um, they spray on the back, which is kind of interesting. I hope that they're consistent or easy to spray. So let's see here. The fragrance. Oh, okay, so these are fragrances from the 90s and 2000s, but they decided to bring them back and in new packaging. So that's interesting. So it's kind of interesting. And Armani's bringing some classic vintage, uh, maybe modernizing them. I don't know. That might be reformulated. I can't say for certain. So the Armani She has vanilla and cedar and freshness, and it looks like it has heliotrope and pear, cedar, white musk. Okay, and that's the one for the ladies, and the one for men. They are the Louis. Let's look at the notes of that one. This has Japanese yuzu, cardamom, vetiver, and musk. And they have like a little crystal accord. I don't know if that means that the fragrance is going to be crisp, or maybe it's a salt rock, or maybe it's ice. It's supposed to be icy. Not sure, but both pictures have like a little quartz or something. It's supposed to have some iris, some nutmeg, some rose, sandalwood, tonka. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Again, I hope that those fragrances spray right. Don't know how strong or weak they'll be. When some fragrance brands bring back vintage fragrances and they're reformulated, sometimes they don't perform the best, especially if they're, intentionally trying to be like lighter or maybe eco-minded. I'm not really sure. So let's see here. They did a comparison talking about Davidoff's Cool Water versus Cool Water EDP. I don't know if we want to get into that. The new EDP is a little bit more modern and sweet. It doesn't have as much of the green qualities or the green aspects. Both are decent. Cool Water actually is really popular still out here. I know a lot of people don't talk about it. Some people, Cool Water's old news, and they put out so many flankers. It was pretty ridiculous with all the Cool Water flankers, but you know, the EDP seems to be doing pretty well. They still seem to be getting a little bit of love. There's a new fragrance release from Maison Francis Kurkdjian called Lumiere Noir, the Lumiere Noir Femme. Um, let's read about that real quick. See, let me catch up with the comments. See here. Uh, do you have? Okay, I don't know. Okay, we're still talking about the computer, and yeah, Waseme Mucho is great. Oh, you're talking about Much. Yeah, I watch him here. Is great. A great line. Okay, like tobacco and chocolate fragrances. I'll have to look into those, Solano. If you want to message me, remind me to look into those. That sounds great. I like chocolate and tobacco. And if you'll probably already know, but there's the Mandarin tobacco, which is like an exclusive fragrance. They can't. What was it? Byredo came out with a couple of them, and they're a lot deeper and darker looking. I need to try that Mandarin tobacco. It looks great. Yes, it's fixed. I deleted the cache. Okay, yeah. So you had to delete some history and the cache and refresh your browser maybe. So let's see here. Let's see if there's any notes that they give us um, for Lumiere Noir, the Femme version. They wrote a pretty big article. Let me. I'm gonna do the old Control Find to see if I can find the notes. So, do y'all ever do that? Use Control Find to find what you need. That's one of the old computer tricks of the trade. Always helped me, and in college it helped me too. So, well, they don't give us an actual note breakdown. It's supposed to have Narcissus. It's supposed to, which is really interesting, fresh, crisp, sometimes sour, sometimes like dry. Oh, it's kind of like a white floral, but I like Narcissus a lot more than I like Neroli most of the time in fragrances. So I don't know. This it looks good. I'm not the biggest fan of Maison Francis Kurkdjian. I'm not against the brand, but we're interested to see if it's any good. Let's see here. Let me catch up with the comments. I'm looking to buy Mansara Cedrat Boisé, but the more recent reviews seem to indicate that it's been reformulated and not nearly as good as the original. Any idea if it's worth buying for $60? I have not heard anything about a reformulation. I'm not saying that they're wrong. I just personally haven't heard anybody say that. It's possible, but I have you're the first person I've ever heard say that. I do think it's a great fragrance. I hope that they haven't reformulated it. I often recommend it for a compliment getter, and one of the best, if not the easiest, probably niche fragrance to get into. And if that's a 60 mil for 60, that's an okay price, but you can get that for about 70 or so dollars on Fragrance by CA, the full 120 mils, and with the 10% off, you're probably going to get it closer towards 70, maybe less. I use Control Find. Yeah, I do too. Control Find helps you find what you need. Neroli can be rubbery smell. I suppose it can be. The only times I get a rubbery smell in fragrances is most of the time if there's like the vanilla and amber, and for some reason some certain vanilla amber fragrances have that rubbery smell. But maybe it's some white floral sneaking up there with some vanilla and amber. That could you could be right. I mm, Interesting thoughts. Say, hey Stephanie Dimming, I hate reformulations. I do too. They're annoying. And y'all know, especially designer brands, they move so fast. You know, if you like a fragrance, they're probably only going to keep it around for a couple years unless it's highly successful. So if you really love a designer fragrance and you really like the formulation of it, and you don't want to live without it, you might as well get yourself another bottle. But y'all know my feelings. Like you didn't get the bottle, I mean, if it's worth it to you, pay the extra on eBay. But there's so many beautiful fragrances out there, so many new releases. It's hard to keep up with, and it's fun to explore. You'll probably find something new, something that's just as good, if not better, out there. So I know that people have memories and experiences, and having a fragrance that was special to them matters a lot. But there's always something new. That's what I say. So. Let's see. Hey, Stephanie Dimmings, good to see you. Yeah, reformulations are sad though. There's a brand out there called Shangguan. I have not tried them or heard anything about them. They're a new fragrance brand. They have two new releases: Le Eau de La A, and Le Prince du Polo. I don't know anything about them, but they're composed by Cecilia Sorokian. So I don't know if she's starting a new brand. Y'all know she's a very prolific or very popular perfumer at the moment, and she's probably being hired on by more and more brands. She worked with, I think it was Musk Milano recently. Again, I don't know everything about perfumers, but I do try to learn a little bit here and there. Eventually, hopefully, I'll be able to get to that point where I know more of their repertoire, more of their personalities, and maybe some of the information behind the scenes. But um, nice looking bottles, pretty decent. The Le Eau de la Ami says it has pineapple, orange, and grapefruit off the top, apple and pear, lots and lots of fruits. With a heart in the mid, it has watermelon, raspberry, blackcurrant, and peach. So if you're a fruit lover, you might want to try this one. So it says sweet and watery fruits combined with jasmine blossom and spiced with sweet cinnamon accord. The base notes are tonka bean, leather, dry woods, musk, nuances of saffron, and violet leaves. So if you're a fruity fragrance lover, that by the House of Chaugan, Chaugan, Paris, and the fragrance is L'Homme de Lamy. Lamy? I sound so bad. You're probably thinking I'm saying salami, but that might be good. Let's see here. Le Prince du Polo, it says it's citrusy. Let's see. It says it just seems like it's an oriental, fresh, woodsy citrus fragrance. Patchouli, gaiac wood for the little incensey nuances, and vetiver. It's supposed to have ambergris and musk, and they say it's maybe a little bit animalic. That sounds kind of simple, but it could be good. So that's interesting. That's some new fragrance news. Let's see here. I just got Amber Fever based on your recommendation. I like it, but I think it's too woody. I think I'll have to pass it on my husband. Yeah, sometimes that happens. Sometimes skin chemistry messes things up. And if you really like the smell, I'm sure that he'll enjoy the gift. So, yeah. But I'm sad that it doesn't work on you. Amber Fever, that's a nice one. Amber Fever. You're talking about the Monsar, right? I don't find it too woody, but I bet you'll like it on your guy for sure. The Artisan Parfumeur Passage Infer Extreme, very long name. They need to shorten that, but that's a brand new fragrance, or it's a new version. It's a flanker of one of the ones they used to have in the past. I have not personally tried the original. It says it's a classical fragrance, but it was intended to be unisex. It has incense, woods, and cedar. I think it's showing some lily. Um, what's it trying to say here? It says Paris addresses where the artist's bouquet was originally the. I don't. I think the name of the fragrance says it's supposed to have something to do with the gates of hell. I don't know why they named it that, but it doesn't sound like it's too spicy or dry or violence or aggressive or anything. But anyways, it has lily. Yeah, it does have lily, balsamic notes, creamy sandalwood, and it's supposed to be mysterious. So that's interesting. Some people were saying that they wished it was what they wanted it stronger and less floral with more vanilla, and they're hoping that maybe that's what that flanker is going to do for them. So maybe it does. We'll have to see. I don't know when or if I'll ever get my nose to smelling that one. Great nozzle on my skin goes and does a funky thing. Oh yeah, so it might be your skin chemistry. That fragrance is really cozy. That fragrance really works for me. Seffi Deming, husbands are good for that. Well, who knows? Maybe it'll smell even better on him than it did you, and maybe you'll get to enjoy that fragrance after all. So, yeah. There's a new flanker of Guerlain's La Petite Robe, or the Robe Noir. The Robe Noir is already a flanker to begin with, but this is Eau de Parfum, but that which was a flanker. So this is like another Inception thing. This is like a flanker of a flanker of a flanker. So it's La Petite Robe Noir, the Eau de Parfum version, but it's a nectar version. So I don't know how you fit all of that on one bottle. But I mean, they decide to do that. I sometimes wonder, or I'm curious about what these people think when they're naming fragrances. But, anyways, it's a new variant. They say it's supposed to have a lot of emotions behind it, like optimistic, mischievous, and seductive. I'm not sure what's different about this one. They the little commercial for this fragrance with La Petite Noir is another really weird fragrance commercial, and it has like a lady who looks a little bit more like a silhouette, like she's a little bit dark, and she's wearing a hat that kind of covers her face, so it looks kind of like a weird abstract drawn person kind of put into an old black and white movie. So it looks kind of unnatural, kind of weird. So Stephanie's laughing. What's good, Ben? Sent to the day. Bond number 9, Ode, New York. Curtis for Beach. I bet that's smelling good on you, my friend. Ordered a bottle of Flora Santal. It reminds me a bit of 8 and Bob original. Yeah, Flores is a great house. Really underappreciated. I like their. I think it. What was that? English leather. What was that fragrance called? Leather oud. No, it was called leather oud. But I do feel like it's a more of an English leather style fragrance. A little bit rugged, not for everybody. Perhaps comes off as more mature, but that one's really nice. One I really recommend for the gentleman. I think it was called Elite. My dad got that one and fell in love with it. It is one of the best spicy green gentlemanly fragrances I've ever tried. So I hope that you like that Santal. I bet it's pretty good. I think I did talk about it. It's been a little while. I need to revisit it, but Santal is really nice. They have one called I talked about it. It's like Safiro. Safiro is really good. Yeah, that one had some beautiful citrus to it. I really like Safiro. Um, so, anyways, this one we were talking about the Eau de Parfum Nectar from Guerlain. It has sparkly notes. So it has rose, lots and honey and bergamot, and it's supposed to smell like almond macaroons, patchouli, and tonka. So maybe it's a little bit sweeter. Maybe it leans a little bit more on the gourmand side. That sounds nice. It has Bulgarian rose and Turkish rose, honey, patchouli, tonka, and the all like that almond sweet macaroon, nutty vibes. So it sounds like a nice semi gourmand kind of gourmandy fragrance, especially if you like rose. I always have like the bottles of the Petit Noir. They're not the fanciest bottles, but I kind of like them. Don't know why, but let's jump to another fragrance. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for another fragrance? We're just talking about fragrance news. If you're still watching, I appreciate you. This is probably why y'all are suggesting to do a podcast because always have something on the mind, something we can always talk about. So, anyways, and what was your favorite fragrances of 2020? I haven't put out my video. I think I'm going to do one of those videos, my favorite fragrance releases of 2020. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed my video today. It kind of was a similar video, but my video I released today was, some of the most mass appealing, likable fragrances that have potential to, get hyped and for people to, for them to really become really big in the fragrance game, and they're really likable. And I wanted to put out that list because I know that I personally like dark fragrances, and I like ambers and incense, tobaccos and ouds and leathers and coffees and things like that. And I know that everybody's not into those fragrances. Like I've recently been talking a lot about Treachery from the House of Maher Olfactive, and that fragrance is going to be abrasive and way too strong and aggressive for a lot of people. So I wanted to put that video I put out today, to show y'all that there are some really likable, easy to get into, and pretty lovable niche fragrances. So I hope that if you're first getting into niche, or if you really like those happy, bright fragrances, I hope the video I put out today was really good for you. So that's because that was my whole intention. I hope that it helped. Um, Katie says, "Nice live stream, nice chat." I'm glad that you like it. That's most of the fragrance news. I could dive into it, but that's most of the big highlights that have came out. DSH has talks about there's some information on fragrance notes and where they come from, and like art. And they have like a little. You can go on Fragrantica, and they have like a little thing that's supposed to help you understand yourself if you care about horoscopes and how that might be involved with fragrance, if you care about that at all. And they do have some other new perfumes listed. I don't Let me know if any of these sound interesting. If y'all want me to, I can read some if y'all want to keep talking about them. But I know it's ridiculously popular and overhyped. But Angel Share, I do want to try that, and I might even add to the hype. If I really like it, I'll talk about it. Nishane's Ani is really good. At first, I like to be a little bit suspicious, and but the fragrance is great. A lot of ladies talk about it, so I was worried that it was feminine. It's very unisex. Nishane's Ani. It smells great on ladies and and guys. And it's a really great release, and I can see why it's so hyped. Um, How do you like Comme des Garçons? It is a nice house. I do need to dive more into their experimental fragrances. I remember there's one called Soda that I really need to get that has mint. One reason that I really want it, but it sounds really nice, like fuzzy and crisp and vetiver and citruses. I have Wonder Oud. A lot of people like their Wonder Wood, but they have lots of beautiful creations. There's a couple of them that I need to get, so that's always exciting. But I respect the House of Comme des Garçons, but I do need to ex- explore them just a little bit more. So let's see here. Or do you have any favorites? Do you recommend one? I had somebody reach out to me and recommend they have one that's it's like I could look it up if you want me to, but it has theater in the name. It looks like a nice light coffee fragrance, and I bet I'd like it. But again, I couldn't find anybody selling samples of it, so I might end up maybe blind buying it in the future if I have the money for it. But let's see here. I looked at a bunch of the new releases. Nothing else really has jumped out to me to talk about. There's a bunch of new Sultan Pasha Atars if you're into the Atar world. Very exclusive, very expensive, very high end Atars. And I but anyways, were there any releases or any brands you felt that did really good this year? Are there any brands and or fragrances that you felt did really bad this year? What's on your list for 2021? Have you tried any juice box? I might have tried one of them, but I do need to buy Discovery Set from Juice Box. I need to try all of them. They have that one that has that gunpowder accord, and they also have one that I forget their names, but that one was like a dark spicy one, and they have a couple of them that look fun. So I need to try Juice Box. Some of them look playful and not really my style, but I still want to try them. And it probably would be a nice house to get into. They have one with like this watermelon accord. I could look it up right now if y'all want me to. So, Juice Box. Okay, Black Powder is the one I was thinking of. That's the one I really want. I also might end up liking Cheeky Smile. I remember being really interested in that. Beat Cafe also doesn't look bad. Um, I think it might have been Green Bubble or Feel and Chill. All I think could be really big compliment getters. It might be the Feel and Chill. Um, they got some nice looking fragrances. They really do. So they have some new ones I haven't even heard about. There's Feather Supreme, Live and Loud, No Rules. I heard of Micro Love. I actually never heard of Golden Serenade. I heard of Sirens and Sailors, but I haven't heard of Abuse, and I don't really remember hearing about Night Flow. I think I saw it, but I don't think I've ever seen anybody review Night Flow. So but is not oh Feel and Chill is the one with watermelon. Yeah, I think that that could be a big compliment getter. If you got the right person hyping that one up and talking about it, I think a lot of people would like it. I think a lot of people would enjoy it. There's not I mean there's a few fragrances that have watermelon, but not a lot of them. And I think a lot of people enjoy that in fragrances. So I want to try Juice Box too. Yeah, their bottles are nice. I would love to have one of their bottles in my collection. They do look quite lovely if I do say so. I have my eye on Cheeky Smile, Black Powder, or Beat Cafe. I think that one of those is probably going to speak to me. And if it works right, I'd love to have one. So we'll see about that. Let's see. Crystal Frags has a nice discovery set. Well, I might just have to get myself that Solano. I might just have to do it. Nightflow is a new one. Carlos did a review. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Thanks for putting me onto it. I have four. Yeah, you're there, Solano. You're definitely up there in Juice Box. Is that your favorite house? Is that your favorite fragrance house? I know they got some good ones. Which one would you recommend to me? Do you think I'd like Cheeky Smile, Black Powder, or Beat Cafe the best? Those are the ones I looked at. Those three look the best to me. So, anyways, yeah, one of them. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of fragrance houses that can sneak up on you. So lots of interesting stuff. So, let's see. Let me. Y'all want me to read you my profile? I probably need to update it. We could joke about some of the things Maybe I need to change my favorite fragrances. I haven't looked at this in a while. Cheeky Smile is yeah, it's kind of like a molecule fragrance. Cheeky Smile. I heard it had I could be remembering wrong, but I remember people saying it had some similarities to Baccarat Rouge 540. But it does get you the compliments. Yeah, it gets you the compliments. It does sound nice. So yeah, I probably do need to change up my favorite fragrances here. It's my opinions has changed on some things. I have to sit down and think about this. I still love Nichonne's Fan Your Flames. I think it's great, but I think I like Treachery by Mahir Olfactive even better. I still like Moon Milk, but I've since tried other sandalwood fragrances I think are even better. So that's not even in my top five favorite fragrances anymore. Kalinga is still really good. I still have Kalinga by Artley Artisan in the collection. Not have no intention of selling it. I don't know if I would have it in my favorites. I'd have to think about it. And I found other aquatics I actually like better than Les Eaux Froides by Serge Lutens. I still think it is a pretty good aquatic fragrance, especially if you really like musky aquatic fragrances. Les Eaux Froides is quite nice, but I don't think I'd put it up there as one of my favorites. So Jubilation 25 is still probably, if I had to choose one, which I don't, we have so many fragrances. I probably don't want to choose just one, but if I had to choose one fragrance, the best one for me personally of all time, yeah, I'd still probably keep Jubilation 25 up there. It's still my baby. So, um, I got five compliments in one day. Yeah, I mean, Cheeky Smile's great. I don't wear fragrances just for compliments, but that's compliments are never a bad thing. So it looks good. I gotta try it. So, anyways, there's a lot of fragrances I could probably take off my want list and probably add to them. I'm one of those people on Fragrantica that has like a want list of like 1,000 fragrances. I add everything that I think looks interesting, and it's like a that. It's like lots. Oh, and I need to get in here and put on there which fragrances I've sold. I have to add like 30 fragrances on there, the ones I've sold. So, are you into ambers? I've been dabbling into them this year and would love some recommendations. Amber fragrances. I do love amber. It's I don't know if it's my favorite note of all time, but I do love a good amber. Um, you've got that amber fever, which is kind of not really an amber fragrance. That one's interesting. Let me think. Amber. What one that I recommend? What's that thing called? Give me a second. I know the brand. I just don't remember the fragrance off the top of my head. I have the fragrance right over there. Sacred. Sacred by Louis Cardon is probably the best amber I know of for the money. Really great. It's more of a gourmand fragrance. It does definitely goes in the sweet territory, but for the money and for the value, Louis Cardon's Sacred got some hype. Some people started talking about it. The hype is kind of slowed down this year, but again, that's probably the best amber for the money. And but it does go gourmand and sweet though. I don't know if you want another gourmand sweet fragrance, but it's a great value for the dollar. Ombre by Baldessarini is probably one of the best all time classic ambers I'd recommend. It's just called Ombre, Ambre by Baldessarini. Doesn't last as terribly long, but it's very fresh. It's layerable, and it's good quality for the money. And let me think of some other ambers. Um, I need them. You caught me on a topic that my mind is not wanting to work right now. Amber. So let's see. Oh, I just bought that for my dad. That's probably one that you'd like on your husband. But there's Ombre Sultan by Serge Lutens, which I often mention. That one's really great for probably your guy. It's a very confident fragrance. Has some violet. Almost smells like Dior Fahrenheit. Does Costume National Soul have amber? Let me look right now for you. Let me Google search this up. It's got amber listed as the second note, warm, spicy, and then amber. Yeah, it's got amber. So that one might be for your husband again. Soul by Costume National might be one that you love on your husband or your guy. So that one's really nice. Trying to think of some other ambers that are great. There's some expensive ones. I'm sure that Guerlain has one that's nice. I can't remember off the top of my head, but um, oh, I actually have a sample of it right there, and one of I smelled the tobacco one yesterday, but it's called Amber Oud. It's from the brand is called it's from the House of Al Haramain, but it's their Amber Oud line, which they confuse people a lot. And it's called the Gold Edition. There's a tobacco edition and there's a gold edition. So they came out in a duo, like a pair. They were released at the same time. They've kind of fallen out of the limelight. There was a lot of talk about them for I don't know, like two or 3 weeks, but then it quickly kind of died out. You can get really good prices on them on a Fragrance by CA. Actually, I don't want to spoil everything for y'all because I want to do unboxings, but one of the ones I bought was the tobacco. So I heard really good things. Fragrance X has them from. I don't know if they come in different sizes. I think they're all 60 mil, but anywhere from $50 to $80. Top notes are bergamot, green notes, mid notes are melon, sweet notes, and pineapple and amber. Base notes are vanilla, musk, and woody notes. So that might be an amber that you might really like. That's fresh, probably can stand up to a little bit of cold. So maybe like a late summer, spring amber fragrance for you. Let's see here. Um, oh, Sacred. Yeah, Sacred's really nice. I do recommend it. Probably one of the deepest, sweetest, most gourmand ambers. Probably the best one for the money. Siren and Sailors looks a bomb too. Yeah, that and I definitely would recommend that one more for the ladies maybe, but that does look fun for sure. Have you tried BDK? I know that there's Smoking Rouge. That's probably the one. Rouge Smoking Rouge. Yeah. No, but I personally actually haven't dived into the house. That's another house that I need to try. Um, what do you recommend one of them for me, Solano? Greece Charnel. I have not tried that. Let me look up that right now. Um, BDK. I have looked at them before, but I just haven't bought any of them. See, they got Cream de Cure, which looks good. Wood Jasmine's not my thing. They got tuberose. I like tuberose, but I like it to be a background note. Grease, yeah, that grease one's probably the one that I'd want to go for. Cardamom, fig, black tea. Love black tea and fragrances. Mid notes are iris, bourbon, vetiver. Base notes are sandalwood and tonka bean. So that looks good. I like the gray color too. So that looks like something I could get into and really be happy about. So let me see if there's any others that look interesting. I've heard lots of talk about what was it? The Rouge Smoking. Lots of people talk about it. Seems really popular. See, those are great. I have Rouge Smoking, Citrus, and Riviera. Tobacco Rose and Cream de Cure and two. Oh, you have all those? Wow, you've been going all out. You've been buying lots, bro. I would recommend Tobacco Rose. That sounds nice. I'll definitely give it a try. One of the only fragrances I've been able to personally enjoy and wear that has a decent amount of rose is Santal Majusculin by Serge Lutens, and Myths Man by Amouage is one that I want to buy, but they're not. The rose is more in the heart notes, and it's not a bit. I mean, it's there, but it's not the focus of the fragrance. So let me see. Let me look at the notes. Cream de Cure looks nice. Let me look at that, see what it's got going on in this from BDK. Little dogs going crazy. So that one's got pineapple, mandarin, grapefruit, bergamot, white suede, sandalwood, pink pepper, base notes of cashmere. That sounds really nice. So it's got some pineapple. It's this creamy, leathery, suedey kind of thing. And then musky. I might like that. Cream de Cure might be the one. But I would like to try the Grease Charnel as well. So let's see. Let me give another look. I think I've looked at it the past and it looked decent, but I don't know if I was too excited about it. It's the Noit Disable one. Let me look at that. So this has notes of sandalwood, nutmeg, Guatemalan cardamom, mid notes of Turkish rose, more rose, sand, nutmeg. Yeah, it might be good. That one's kind of risky for me. The Noit Disable, but that could be good. We'll have to see. So those are probably my top three that look interesting to me: the Nuit Disable, the Grease Charnel, and that cure. Was it? Yeah, the cream to cure. So I have a sample of Green Lover by Lolita Lampica, and I thought it was going to be rubbish, but then I smelled amazing on the dry down. Really, one that will go under the radar. It probably will. I don't know when that fragrance even came out. Let me even see. It's probably been out for a little while. It probably will go under the radar. So Green Lover by Lolita Lampica. It's aromatic. It has vanilla. So they say it's fresh, spicy. The bottle looks nice. It has kind of like this awkward or like slanted, not awkward, but like a kind of like a almost looks like a little starship. You can get it for $40 to $45 or maybe less. So you should be able to get it for close to around the $40 mark. Top notes are green mandarin, so it's got that sour orange, pepper. Mid notes are gin, mint, juniper berries. Ooh, that's a good combo. That's some of my favorite stuff. You're speaking my language there. Gin, mint, and juniper berries. Base notes are Madagascar vanilla. For some reason, when I heard Green Lover, I actually thought it was going to be a fragrance that was inspired or a clone of what was that fragrance called by Mugler? The one with the green heart. I think it was called Aura. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it's Aura. I thought when you said that for some reason in my mind, this came out in 2019. Yeah, nobody's talking about this, flying way under the radar, and so it's really good. Do you recommend it? It has some tobacco, rose, and chocolate. Oh, that could be good. It might be very charming for a date night. You're right, Solano. I'll definitely have to give that one a try. But for $40, okay, okay, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should take a risk on this sometime. For $40, blind buy it sometime. I don't have the money right now. I have another order coming, and my really patchouli by Boise 1920 was expensive, but I already have that in the mail coming, so hasn't arrived yet. Who knows what that'll come? So, but this I might have to put this on my radar. You might have convinced me to try to get it because I love that mint and juniper kind of gin combo. Have a good night. Okay, you got to go. Well, everybody, I see that people are dying off, and we've been through and talked about most of what we wanted to. So, guys, I'm gonna wish you happy holidays. If this is the last you see of me before the new year, happy New Year. I put out a video just about every day, and I'm super active. I do tons of content. So I hope that you like something. Let me know how I can improve or what you want to see. And I hope that you enjoy everything going on. And I hope you're safe out there. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. I know Christmas was yesterday, but good vibes and happiness your way. And I'll catch you later. Hope that had some fun hanging out with me. This was very relaxed. Didn't get into anything controversial. Didn't say anything too crazy. And I hope that you felt some love here tonight. So Stephanie, Randy, everybody, Lemon, good night. Still good to see you. Solano, thank you for being a friend and hanging out with us. And again, definitely check out Solano, see what he's got going on, and all these cool people popping in. And thank y'all for being friends and family. And again, I'm very active on Instagram, so if you want to be more involved, I get to be a little bit more personal. And YouTube is set up for videos, and Instagram is for lots of little things. So I got good stuff going on both sides. So podcast. Oh, okay. And I need to do a podcast too. We'll see about that, Randy. Thank you. I'll look into that, and maybe I'll do it. Maybe that's what y'all want from me. Maybe I got a podcast voice. I don't know. Maybe I'm more calming or sound I maybe I sound better than I look. I don't know. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you later. Have a beautiful night. Stay safe, stay beautiful, and smelling good. I know that you are. And I'll catch you in the next video. I'll see everybody.